all bar leaders on the dais and bar leaders here from all over the country. George Seward, he was the president of the International Bar Association for a long time, and later on he was the president emeritus of the International Bar Association. He was a good friend of Fali. He came to India at our invitation, and he wanted to go to the Supreme Court, and there Fali took him to the Supreme Court, and George Seward saw that he was going from one court to another court and all that. So Seward asked him, Fali, when will you retire? He says, in India we lawyers don't retire, we just drop dead. That is exactly what happened. Suddenly, but without any pain and suffering, Fali passed away in a very saintly manner very recently. He was a phenomena. He was not only, everyone has, you see, paid tributes to him about his greatness as a lawyer, as a scholar, as a jurist, you see, as a great citizen, and also as a great human being. And I feel very proud that possibly in this room, I am the only one who has had the longest association with Fali Nariman, going way back, as Nitin also said, to the days of late 1960s. My first association with Fali was in 1968-69. That is, after I had put in 6-7 years in the profession. Now this is my 61st year in the profession, or 62nd year. So I was in Bombay for my clients, as Nitin has said, Oberoi hotels cases and all that. And my association with Fali started at that time. And that resulted not just in a professional relationship, but as a friendly relationship. He was senior to me by about 8-9 years, 10 years, but still he did not regard me as a junior trying to assist him, but as a colleague. And that association continued even till today. That was 2024, that long association. We worked together. Possibly one feature which has been missed out in our tribute to Fali is his showcasing the Indian legal profession to the world. He became the first Indian to be elected as the president of Law Asia. Then, in the year 1997, we had the first ever International Bar Association conference when the Habitat Center, this center was inaugurated by the President of India, and that was the initiative of Fali Nariman and Mr. Shankar Das, with some assistance being provided by me and my friend Mr. Praveen Parekh. That was the time when 3,000 lawyers from all over the world had come to India to attend that conference. And that is where I say Fali Nariman showcased India's legal profession to the world, giving the signal that Indian legal profession is second to none. And that carried on, you see, when he also became the president of the executive committee of the ICJ way back in Paris and in Amsterdam. Then he got the Gruber Award which was one of the most prestigious awards to be given to any citizen of this of the world. He addressed the United Nations, you see, which is a signal honor for any Indian non-governmental person to deliver such an address. And then I cannot forget the role he played so far as the Society of Indian Law Firms is concerned, that he inaugurated in the presence of the IBA, International Bar Association President, and Mr. Arun Jaitley, the Society of Indian Law Firms in the year 2000. My role, supporting role to him, as he was the President, I was the General Secretary of the Bar Association, was for nearly 20 years, as rightly pointed out, from 1990 till about 2010. Fali Nariman resurrected, you see, the Bar Association of India because it had virtually become a non-entity. But together, and of course with the other team members, we were able to bring back the Bar Association of India not only in the focus of the Indian legal profession, but at the international level also. His concern for others, that is, when he came to Delhi in 1972-73 as the additional Solicitor General. At that time we did not have about 30-40 additional Solicitor Generals as we have now. At that time we only had one additional Solicitor General, and that was Mr. Fali S. Nariman, because Mr. H.R. Gokhale, the then Law Minister, requested him to come from Bombay to Delhi to become the additional Solicitor General. And he came, and as additional Solicitor General, he was an ex officio member of the Delhi Bar Council. Now, I was contesting the election. I won the first election, and then as the chairman of the Bar Council, I contested the election, and I was being opposed by one of the legendary, again, figures, that is Dr. Anand Prakash, who is no more. So, now there was a tie. I got about 6-7 votes. Dr. Anand Prakash also got 6-7 votes, and the casting vote was to be of the ASG. And that was his affection for me, that he voted for me, and I became the chairman of the Bar Council way back in 1973 till 1977. That is the longest period any chairman has had. After that, they have a sharing basis, you know. Okay, you become for 1 year, you become for 1 year, and all that. So that was the last time we had. But Fali had played a very important role of being the ex officio member in covering our activities, in guiding us, in mentoring us how to do it. And it was due to his mentorship that we were able to create for the first time, you see, a fund with which we set up a library in the district court, Tisagari. That was the only district court at that time. Now you have about 8-9 district courts all over. So a library for the junior members of the bar who could not afford to buy the law books. It was a reference library which is still there, and it was inaugurated by the President of India and in the presence of Mr. Fali Nariman. And we were able to do, you see, so many things there. But in the Bar Association, he had a very, very significant, important role in making this as India's most representative body of the legal profession of the country, in which all the states, all the district bar associations, all the high court bar associations have been involved. So, when my election as attorney, as the chairman of the Bar Council was actually challenged, and the appeal had gone to the Bar Council of India, where Mr. Ram Jethmalani was the chairman, you see, and Mr. Rajendra Singh, he was the vice chair. So the appeal had come to them, and question was whether Mr. Nariman could have cast his, you see, vote. And when the matter came to Jethmalani, he said, Nariman cast his vote, there can't be no doubt about it. Therefore, you see that the challenge to my election was not accepted, and I remained the chairman. So Fali was there have been many great lawyers in India, starting with Mr. Setalwal, Daftari, Mr. Parasuran, so many others, Mr. Palkiwala, Mr. Sirvai. But Fali, I would describe him as the first international Indian lawyer. He showcased India to the world, and his was the most representative voice. He had a sense of humor also. People may say that it was a dry sense of humor, but no, it was a real sense of humor. People may think that he is feeling annoyed, but in his annoyance he would convey, you see, what was that. I remember very distinctly that I and my wife Nina had gone to brief him in some matter here in Delhi, and there were some loose papers which Nina handed over to Fali. He said, what is this, you see? Tie them up together and all that. And we were sitting in his office, in his room there. Nina said, sir, we don't have any clip or a pin and all that. Take that clip out of your bonnet, you see, and just have to put them together. So it was, one can say it was a show of annoyance, but no, that was his sense of humor also. And his great work, and I must also share with you one thing, although people may think I am being presumptuous, but he had great affection for me. Which is also reflected in his book, Before the Memory Fades. He makes a very special reference to my role in the Bar Association of India. And in that book, and I am very proud of this fact, that there is only one photograph or other lawyers, only one photograph where two lawyers feature along with Fali Nariman, that is Subhash and I. His great work, his great contribution has been carried on by his successors, such eminent great lawyers like Mr. Anil Devan, Mr. R.K.P. Shankar Das. Then I also got elected between 2016 till 2019. We did our bit, but the contribution of Mr. Devan and Mr. Shankar Das has been very significant. I think the best way to pay tribute to Fali is to carry on with this great work, and that is being done in a very systematic manner by involving others, by Mr. Prashant Kumar. He is trying to showcase India again, you see, to the world by entering into protocols, bilateral agreements with the other bar associations all over the world. So it is a befitting thing, you see, that he decided to have this rule of law convention in memory of our great leader, bar leader, international bar leader, Mr. Fali Nariman. And I'm sure his great work will be carried on by the other bar leaders who are here, the vice presidents, the president-elect Mr. Amarjit Singh Chandiok, and we have Mr. Shyam Devan here, who is the president of Law Asia as well as the vice president of Bar Association of India, Mr. Janak Dwarkadas. They are all very eminent people, and with the help of these and Amarjit is a very dynamic general secretary, I think the work of Mr. Fali Nariman will be continued with great vigor and with great results, you see. So that is the way we pay our tribute to our departed leader. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bhasin.